Ever scroll through YouTube and wonder why those psychology videos are just so popular? It's like they've cracked some kind of code, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to break it all down and figure out how you can create psychology content that really, truly connects with people.
So first things first, let's tackle the big one. Why is psychology basically a superpower for any creator on YouTube? Seriously, why is it one of the most powerful tools you could possibly have in your toolkit? Let's get right into answering that.
All right, part one, why psychology wins on YouTube. Look, you gotta understand the playing field here. Just think about it. When was the last time you fell down a rabbit hole watching a video about, say, why you procrastinate? Exactly. That right there is the magic of this whole thing. There's this massive built-in audience just waiting for this kind of content.
And this really gets to the heart of it. Psychology answers the one question that every single person asks themselves probably every single day. Why? This isn't some dry academic subject tucked away in a textbook. Nope. It's basically the user manual for being a human, you know? It explains why we do the things we do, why our friends act the way they do, and why some relationships just click, while others, well, they don't. It taps directly into this deep universal curiosity we all have, making it just endlessly fascinating.
Okay, so we've established the why. Now, let's get practical. It's time to open up the Creator's Toolkit. So for part two, we're exploring the individual mind. We're going to start by looking inward at the fundamentals of what makes us all tick.
So check this out. It's kind of like our mind is an iceberg. The conscious mind, that's the tip you can see. It's what you're using to listen to me right now, all your deliberate thoughts. But underneath the surface, whoa, that's the subconscious. It's this vast, powerful engine running everything in the background. Your habits, your gut feelings, all those automatic reactions. And let me tell you, any content that explores that dynamic, it's absolute gold because you're literally revealing a hidden part of ourselves to the audience.
And speaking of what's going on under the surface, let's talk about feelings. Emotional intelligence, you've probably heard it called EQ. It is not just some corporate buzzword. It is the key to understanding our entire emotional world, explaining why we feel anger or fear or joy, and how to actually manage those feelings. That provides immense value to people who are genuinely looking to improve their lives.
And here's the best part. You do not need a PhD to talk about personality. The big 5 traits here, openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. This is your simple, scientifically backed framework. You can use this to create incredibly popular content. I mean, think about all those introvert versus extrovert videos. They're popular for a reason. This is the perfect tool to help your viewers have that aha moment where they go, oh wow, that is so me.
Okay, let's build on that. We've looked inside our own heads, but we're not just islands, right? We don't exist in a vacuum. So for part 3, we're going to zoom out and explore our social world, how everyone and everything around us really shapes who we are.
You want to know a format that almost never fails? Myth-busting. It is just so satisfying to watch. I mean, come on, we've all heard that we only use 10% of our brains, right? Turns out, totally false. Or how about opposites attract? Well, the data says, not so much. Similarity is a way bigger deal. Creating content that debunks these common ideas immediately grabs attention. And, bonus, it establishes you as a credible source of fascinating info.
Now, busting myths is a ton of fun for sure, but it leads to a much deeper question, doesn't it? If those things we all thought were true are actually wrong, then what is true? What are the real forces at play? How does the social world actually pull our strings? And here they are. These are the big ones. Peer pressure, group behavior, conformity. These are blockbuster topics for a reason. They're happening around us every single day. You could make a fantastic video just breaking down peer pressure. Maybe talk about those classic experiments where people would give the obviously wrong answer just to fit in with the group. It's wild. Or you could explore the bystander effect, that shocking reason why people are less likely to help someone when they're in a crowd. Turning these big concepts into real, tangible stories is a surefire way to get people watching and sharing.
And of course, we can't talk about psychology without talking about mental well-being. This is so important. Topics like stress, coping mechanisms, building healthy mental habits, these aren't just interesting, they are essential. When you approach these topics with real care and a focus on education, you're doing more than just providing value. You're building a deep, trusting connection with your audience.
Okay, we've covered the what, all the topics that really resonate with people. Now for the final and frankly, most important part, the how. How do you take all these cool concepts and transform them into unforgettable content? Well, welcome to the masterclass.
This 3-step formula right here, This is your blueprint for success. Do not start with a textbook definition. Start with a story, a relatable human experience. Have you ever felt super shy in a big group? Boom, that's your hook. Then, you introduce the cool psych concept that explains it, like the spotlight effect. And finally, you give them something they can use, a simple tip to overcome that feeling. Hook, concept, takeaway. It really is that simple and that powerful.
Ultimately, this is the whole thing distilled into one sense. You can present all the facts in the world, but if you don't connect on an emotional level, if you don't make the viewer feel understood or intrigued or empowered, the message is just going to get lost. The feeling, that's the real secret.
So, now you have the guide. You've got the topics, you've got the frameworks, and you've got the storytelling formula. This is more than just a content strategy. It's a key that unlocks a deeper understanding of what makes every single one of us tick. So the only question left is, what story are you going to tell?